Why hero? Hey dude, so I don't know if you can hear me. Let me know when you guys are able to hear me. Why hero? So you are having, it looks like your variable might not be synced right. Go ahead and like paste your script in like a comment on the live stream. Not in this chat, but like on the comments for the live stream. Like go ahead and go to like heyspin.com, this website here. Paste your networking code, and I will take a look at it. I think if you put it in this live chat after each stream, it disappears. So I want to be able to get back to you and take a look at it. Honestly, I just went through networking with everyone today, getting it up. I've never done it before for Unity 5, so I can try and be useful to you. But yeah, it was sort of a trial and error period to get it up and running. So, but it sounds like you have a sync var issue, which is where the data isn't being synced. So I assume you're flipping your sprite through the property on the X, like that says flip sprite. You need to make that variable synced. So you need to somehow pass that variable across the network, which is the goal. Okay, so let's see here. This is going to be part 4. We finished up the login registration system. There's some polished things I want to do. We have a scriptable object that we need to populate with the user name and the IP address and just the user info in general. And then I want to add some polished things to these buttons here. So for instance, if I hit the sign up key and if I hit, I don't know, if I hit like escape or something maybe, like what, how would you, if you accidentally hit this, what should it be? Should you be like, how do you get out of this page? How do I go from here back to the main menu? Is there just a back button, or how does that work for someone? Trying to think of an implementation for this. Let's see. So why hero? So the way it works, right, is a command is called on a client and executes on the server. A client RPC, an RPC called, is called on the server and executed on a client. So it's okay to have your code inside a network behavior. It is a mono behavior. No, you're good. Just go ahead and if you post your script, I'll get to it after the stream, like sometime later tonight. I'll be able to take a look at it, but I'm almost positive it's a sync var issue. Okay, so check this out, guys. So what I want to do here is in this sign up here, I'm stuck in this. What if I already have an account and I don't want to sign up? How do I get out of this? I can only get out of this if I have a successful sign up. So what are my options? Do I have an X? Do I use a key like the escape key or something like that? Let's do the escape key. So if we do the escape key, if I hit the escape key, I want to take us back to this panel here, which is the which right here. So I want to say activate sign up button, activate login button. So let's go ahead and create that. Inside the network manager, do we have an update method? We do now. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and check here. If input.getKeyDown, keycode.escape. Alright, so if you hit the escape key, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and say sign up panel dot set active is false. Sign up panel dot set active is false. Login panel dot set active is false. And then we need to turn the buttons back on. So we're going to say sign up button panel dot set active. The game object dot set active is true. And login button panel dot game object dot set active is true. Alright, let's go ahead and check this out. This should work. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and hit the escape key here. And right now nothing happened. Good. There you go. Log in. Boom. I can fill shit out. Now check this out. What if I start filling shit out and I hit escape, go into login, everything's good here, but go back to sign up, it's already there, right? I want it to be cleared every time. So, in order to do that, when we open up the sign up panel, it's going to be a fresh instance of it, right? So we're going to say sign up panel.setActiveTrue. I want to go ahead and say sign up. I want to go ahead and say sign up. Let's see. Username signup.text equals password signup.text equals password verification.text equals username signup.text equals password signup.text equals password verification.text equals age.text equals email.text equals blank. Same goes for open login panel. I want to say username login.text will equal password login.text, which will equal blank. Alright, save this. You know, I decided to make a VR game. I should have made something online instead of single player VR game. I didn't know anything about networking, so I did what I could. Hey, no worries, dude. Practice. That's all I can say. Practice, practice, practice. The fact that you made a VR thing is beyond what majority of the world can do. So don't let yourself down about it. It's still a great job. All right, let's go and test this out. I have alpha build video. What do you have? Alpha build a video on my channel. Here, if you link you can link your video in the chat and I'll check it out. Alright, so check this out. So I'm going to go ahead and post some stuff here. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to go back in, blank. Same for login, post some stuff, hit escape, go back in, fresh slate. Alright, that is perfect. Now what we need to do is make it actually take us into the next level, but we need to save stuff into our scriptable object user data. So we have that scriptable object here called user data. And what I need to do now is I need to save my username to it. So what I'm going to do here is when the login is complete, we're going to process when this is complete, okay? So here we go. Sign up completed. We don't care about that. We care about this one, when you log in. All right, when you log in, we need to create a reference to that scriptable object. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say user data equals scriptable object instance or instance. How do we use it again? Let's see here. Scriptable object.create instance, right? All right, so user data equals scriptable object dot create instance, and create instance, the class names, type. All right, so type. So we're going to say type of user data. And I believe that's how he does it. Type of user data, yes. All right, good deal. So check this out. I don't know if I have to cast it because it's already type of user data, so it knows that. And then what I'm going to do here, I just want to see if it's going to give me an error, which it is. Type of user data. Is it because I'm not casting? A class cannot implicitly convert type. Yes, okay, so I am missing a cast. So I need to add user data. Alright, so user data scriptable object.create instance type of user data. Awesome. Alright, we're good here. Now what we can do is we can go ahead and say user data dot username. Sorry, lowercase user data dot username equals the login success username. So we're going to say username, and I want the IP address. So I want to say user data dot IP address equals. There's got to be a way to get that. I got to be able to say like network dot IP address, connection tester IP, proxy IP. What is this? The IP address of the proxy server the IP address of the NAT punch-through facilitator, or the IP address of the connection tester used in network.test connection. Boom. That's what I want. All right, so I got all the stuff I need. Let's go ahead and test this. So after I do that, I need to go ahead and say load. I need to go ahead and say scene management. I need to load the next level. So I need to go ahead and say using Unity Engine dot scene management, and I need to say application dot load level or something. Scene manager dot load scene, and scene name, we're gonna say main. Boom. Alright, let's go ahead and test this shit out. So if you get a login success, you should be able to log into the game now. Are you talking about the Nintendo Switch or the programming Switch? Like the Switch method. I use that switches all the time. Alright, let's go ahead and log in here with logic, and password is test. Here we go. And login was 2, which is successful, and you can see here that we successfully transferred over to this game level, to where now I can host the party. And now I can log in because I successfully logged in. How cool is that? So, let's go ahead now and verify that we actually got our scriptable object data. Alright, so on our player, I want to just print out the user's information. So there's a method called onStartLocalPlayer. Alright, I want to print out information from that scriptable object. So I'm going to go ahead and say here, let's see here, I want to say user data equals scriptable object dot load instance, or dot create instance again. I don't know if that data is still there. Create instance type of user data. Alright, we're going to cast it as user data. And then let's go ahead and debug.log. And I want to do string.format. And I'm going to go ahead and say username, and then we're going to have IP address. Alright, and then here we're going to go ahead and say user data dot username and user data dot IP address. Let's go ahead and save this, and on start it should start. It's not allowing me to post a link. I'll have to switch too bad I didn't get to use it more often. Hey B, welcome back to the stream, dude. Yeah, we completed the entire login registration system, and we created the PHP MySQL scripts from scratch and covered all of that in the previous streams. All of the previous streams for everything we're doing here is already in the Unity Live C# programming session. So if you want to kill 8 hours, go watch that, because I plan to develop this entire game live, and I plan to do this as an ongoing game. Like I would like to spend 3+ months developing a prototype to this, and maybe actually turning it into something that doesn't suck. So if that's the case, if it turns into something great, awesome. Yeah, you can go catch up on it. Just catch up on the chat here, guys. Let's see, I think I might have designed the best rope in video games. It's physical and functions pretty well. Very cool. Did you make a YouTube video of the rope? Sure, it's on my channel for Forgotten. It's the name of the game. Cool. Alex, or everyone, go check that out. Feel free to go check that out. Alright, so, Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and log in here with Logic, and I want to see if my data gets passed around in saves. I might have to do some more magic to make it get across the scene. So let's go ahead and test. I log in, success. I'm gonna go ahead and host, and username blank, IP address blank, and I think maybe, just maybe, I can fix this by doing this. I want to go ahead and say user data dot don't destroy on load. Can I do that? No, I can't. Shit. User data dot shit. How do I bring this over? God damn it! I don't know how to. I do not want to bring this game object into the other scene. I've gotta figure out a different way. Let me see here. You can keep track of it via the reference you assign it to, just like basic programming. It's just a storage class for values and methods. I don't think it's meant to have a mesh. It does not seem to have any update, so you would have to update via your own call. If you look at inheritance hierarchy, it has nothing to do with the whole mono behavior, so just for storing info and helpers. It then makes sense to be able to create millions of them since they're just taking space in memory, but no resources, no update call, no Unity maintenance, only GC when needed. So it actually isn't an object, different kind of class since you have to call it from mono behavior, but somehow calling it is much more complex than class-driven structure. New guy equals scriptable object.create instance. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, don't destroy on load in memory until we want it to. What about that? Let's do dot don't destroy. No. Dot don't destroy. Fuck. Hold on. Scriptable object.create instance. It like totally allowed me to do something similar. User data equals. So what made me decide to work on 2D game? Honestly, it's easier to prototype 2D than it is 3D. I'm not a big fan of using like placeholders. I like to actually use like actual artwork, if that makes sense, when creating games. And when I'm more, what's the word? I'm more like inspired to complete this game if I have art assets to work with in the beginning versus if I'm just using blocks and cubes in 3D, then I get really discouraged. I'm just like, well, fuck this project. But using 2D, there's a lot of free, awesome 2D art out there that I can prototype this with. And eventually, when I decide to get an artist, I can get awesome visuals for this game. So doing it in 2D is more realistic than 3D. And if I ever want to, port it to 3D or anything like that, it's not terribly difficult. The code doesn't change, just minor shit. But I've always been a fan of just 2D. I just enjoy it. Do I use GIMP? Dude, I do zero art. Like, no. Art is... No, I am the worst artist in the world. I passionately hate all things art. Like, literally with a passion, I can't do any art. I've tried to learn 3D modeling. I've tried to do drawing and 2D textures and UV mapping. Negative. No. I'm a software engineer. I'm a programmer. I love code, like stuff like this. I could do this. I mean, I've been streaming for like, 12 hours? I can do this all day and keep going. But art, no. I admire artists, but I fucking hate it. Like, it's one, it's below my pay grade, but two, it's just no. I don't have time to do art because I'd rather be focusing on writing code. Alright, so you have entered an invalid username and password. Please try again. Server offline. I want to create this data, and I want to have it be scriptable object that don't destroy on load. Target. Make the object target not be destroyed automatically when loading a new scene. Yes, that's what we want. Don't destroy on load. I think I can say user data object target. So I want to say user data. And then can I do like user data dot create instance or something? God damn it. No. Curious to see what this does, because I should still be able to do all that. User data is a type. Damn it. Alright, hold on. I want to use scriptable objects across scene. Scriptable objects are amazing data containers. Yes, they are. So how do I use them? Let me see here. You worship John Carmack? No, I don't worship John Carmack, but I guess you could say I respect him. Well, a couple guys in my office are like insanely like I don't even know what the word is. They love that dude. But no, I don't really, I don't really care. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Doom, but like I don't really care for what Carmack does. But no, he's cool. Let me see. I'm more artist than programmer, but I love Carmack and his ID Tech legacy. Yeah. No, I mean he's definitely a boss, But oh yeah. Do you use GIMP the art software? You're good at what you do, I think. I'd like to think I'm pretty good. That is an interesting motivator. I get motivated by mechanics and get very excited when I have new idea for mechanics. So like idea type guy, not really an idea type guy. I'm more of like a code monkey. Like if you give me an idea, then I get excited about creating it. But me coming up with creative aspects, design aspects, I am god awful about it. I need like something to base inspiration off of. Do I have a college degree? So that's a funny answer. So I am completely self-taught. I've been programming for over 8 years now. I started when I was 16. I'm 24. No, I've never taken a college class on programming. I was a biology major in college. I dropped out of biology to pursue software engineering full-time. I got a job at Adult Swim when I was 20. I published a book when I was 19. And I always took money before college. I ended up getting my degree from DeVry University because society says you need a degree, and I got it in technical management, which ideally is just a degree that says, hey, you are now accepted by society. So it took me 9 years to get it, but I did finally get the degree. And it was more so to, my fiance has her master's and all that good stuff. So it was more so a motivator for her, and my parents wanted to see it. So I've always been self-made, but I did get the degree because society said I needed it. I didn't get it in software engineering. I got it in what's called technical management. And technical management is basically a degree that teaches you about the business side of software companies and stuff like that, which pretty much is self-explanatory, and you can already learn all that stuff without going to school as well. But I did it to please society, and I will say this, we do it at my company. The degree opens the door unless you're exceptional. For me, I was fortunate to get a book deal with A-Press, and that opened doors with Adult Swim, and from there a tech startup creating augmented reality, and then now I work for the software. I'm a software engineer for the casino industry. So I've done all of that without a degree, and I finally just got my degree just this year. So here's what I say to anyone who's learning to program: if you wait to go to college to program, you're not going to make it in this industry. We hire Georgia Tech grads. We don't hire. We interview Georgia Tech grads, and we hire 0 of them. Why? Because they all waited till they got to college to start programming. If you wait till college to start programming, you are 4 years behind all of the other programmers. If you didn't start before college, then you have very little chance you're going to make it in this industry. And if you only practice your skill, which is what a lot of kids do in the classroom, if you only practice in the classroom, you're not going to make it either. You have to literally want this. You can't. There's a difference between the idea of making games and the idea of there's the difference between the idea of making games and the idea of playing games. A lot of people think they want to, they love video games, but realistically, they just love playing them and not making them. So you really have to be, you have to want to make it in this industry. You want to be the best. You want to be able to look at someone and say, well, shit, that guy's better than me, so I need to get on his level. And that's what I've always done. I've always been better than my peers because I've always worked online. You know, when I was 19, I was writing that book. I was always better than the people I taught. Basically what happened is once I got to Adult Swim, once I got to Adult Swim, that was great. I worked on this game called Duck Game, which is like the best game ever. Love it. But shortly after Adult Swim, I joined this tech startup for augmented reality, and this was like my first dive into software using AR, not necessarily game programming, but software. And this was the first time that I wasn't the best programmer in the room, and I was pissed. I was like, dude, these guys are using fucking things I've never even heard of in programming. Like, these guys are so efficient in lambdas and delegates and events and anonymous methods, anonymous types, and I'm like, holy shit. And the first thing I did was I got to the best guy and I said, I need to be as good as you. So that's what I did. I got on his level, and then Duck Game is awesome. That was my game at Adult Swim a few years ago. And so basically what happened was I left the tech startup and I got approached by the casino industry, and I've been there now for almost 2 years, and I don't think I'm ever gonna leave. The schedule is awesome there, and it allows me to do a bunch of my own stuff. But that's how you have to be in this industry. Like, and it's not just programming. You know, if you want to be an artist in this field, an artist are just like programmers. A good artist is a dime a dozen. You have to want to be the best. You have to look at someone, you have to look at your peers and find out who is better than you and get on that person's level. If you don't want to be on that person's level and you're okay with just sliding by, then you're never going to excel in your creative field. You always have to want to be the best, and that's how you make it, by being the best. So, okay, good. That's my little speech about the degree and all that good stuff. I'd say it's important to have the degree. It does open doors for you. Society says you need it, so go get it. But at the end of the day, if you're dedicated and you're a hard worker and you practice and you want to be the best, then you will make it happen for yourself. I did it. I'm completely self-taught, so I truly believe anyone can do it. I've taught, you guys saw that kid in here who was, you guys saw Samuel earlier today helping me with the, he was helping with the network thing. He's 18 years old today. I was teaching him 4 years ago when he was, I guess he was, 14? So I taught him to program when he was 14. Today he's 18, and he makes like $30,000 a year as a full-time senior in high school. And he is better than me. Like, he started at the age of 14. I taught him everything I knew within a year. He's better than me. And I still teach him all this new stuff. When I got at the tech startup 2 years ago and I started learning all this stuff about delegates and anonymous types, I taught it to him, and because I think he was only 16 at the time, he picked it up like that. It was like, holy shit. Today that dude is literally one of the best programmers I know. And it's because he's so young. He's starting so young, and he's going to go to college to get a degree. He doesn't even need to, but he's going to. He is better than me, and he's literally the best programmer I know. But he makes like half of what his parents make, and he works like 20 hours a week. So that's what, starting young and going into programming can do for you. And if you're dedicated and hard worker, the younger the better, because you can adapt and learn it better. It's an awesome career. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up on the chat real quickly. Adult Swim, can you talk more about Adult Swim? Yes, I will. Screw society. Carmack is a college dropout and he still made it to the top. That's more reason he's my idol. Laughing a lot, I worked in the casino for 1.5 years. I never pleased society. I actually work alone. That's why I've been working freelance for several years since high school. My college degree, ironically, became a hazard in job search. There are a lot of game devs who don't know what works in games because they don't play enough games. Arguably. Duck Game. My brother is obsessed with that game. I gotta tell my brother. I went to college with one of the devs of Duck Game. Oh, yeah. Yes. Okay, so talk about Adult Swim. Adult Swim was an awesome experience. I worked on Duck Game for 3 months before I transferred to the tech startup, which was an augmented reality company. The reason why I did that was because I learned something at Adult Swim. At Adult Swim, I was surrounded by people who loved to play video games, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with loving to play video games, but there is something wrong with, I don't want to play video games. Like I said, I don't really play video games, guys, but I love video games as an art. I want to create video games. And at Adult Swim, It was more about playing video games, and it sounds fucking crazy. Not only was I paid to work on Duck Game, but we were paid to just play video games and alphas, and my god, like all we did was play video games, and I actually hated it because I wasn't making these games that we were playing. I was playing games that other companies were making that we were testing for them, and I was pissed because I'm like, god damn it, I don't want to play this game, I want to make this game. You know, that game Titanfall came out, right? When I was doing a night class at the Art Institute, before I transferred to DeVry, I was trying to finish up there. Everyone in the game programming class was so excited about Titanfall and went to go play it. I looked at that game to this day. I still have not played Titanfall. I looked at that game and I was like, son of a bitch. I want to fucking make that game. I don't want to play that shit. I want to make that. So the culture at Adult Swim was, let's play video games. You know, that's what it was. And that just wasn't really for me. I don't want to play video games. I want to make them. So I wanted to do something that's more involved with coding. I want to be with other people who just want to code and make games, not do games. So that's how I came into the software startup. And then after that, I came into the casino industry where I make slot machine games now. So it's pretty cool. Now I get to make games and I get to make my own shit like this. But yes, Adult Swim was awesome. It was just not a culture fit, but it was insanely cool. Okay, so if there's no more questions here, also I'm working right now, but a little different from you. I'm trying to put the axe on the back of this knight, and I want the axe to stick for my VR controller. Very cool. I have to swing my hand. Good deal. All right, cool. So, all right, cool. Well, this was an awesome 30 minutes. I'd say there's a lot of people in the world who probably would love to hear this. So let me see here, continuing our network exploration. Hey guys, this is a 30-minute stream here that I just did that spiel that a lot of people should fucking hear. So I am actually going to continuing our network exploration to get this framework up and running. Let's do a keycode generator and here, stopping this stream so you can focus on the great talk. Alright, hey guys, I'm going to stop the stream and I will be right back in 2 minutes. I just want this this snippet of this, whatever I just talked about, to be its own section. Most of my head skills were also self-taught and I learned the final touches in college. That's really the only reason I went there. Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. Alright, so continuing our network exploration to get this framework up and running, let's do a keycode generator for alpha testing. Oh yeah, that's what we're also going to do. We're going to create a keycode generator that we can hand out beta keys or alpha keys to people, and they can enter it in, and if they enter in a correct one, we can let them play the game, and we'll compare that key on the database. So I'll show you guys how we set that up. Stopping the stream so you can focus on the great talk. Continuing on in the next stream. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I will be right back. We have 11 people in here. You guys just hang out and talk. I just got to make sure that this gets into the live playlist. I will be right back.